Well, American waistlines keep getting bigger. We all blame fast food, but what about cookbooks? Brian Wansink of the Cornell University Food and Brand Lab conducted a study which shows that over the years, cookbooks have helped make us fatter. Good morning.
It's great to be here.
Specifically, you only looked at the joy of cooking, though, right?
Well, we looked at all sorts of cookbooks, but we mainly stuck with the joy of cooking because they had the same editors for about the last 70 years, and we had actually all 8 editions in our library.
So it's easy to compare the recipes back then to the recipes now. All right, what did you find?
Well, basically, the average recipe increased, that was common across all 8 editions, increased in calories by 35%.
Wow.
And 2 reasons for that. One, serving size, and there's more caloric ingredients. We can take a look at our 1936 blueberry muffins. I think they were made in 1936.
One of them was this big in 1936. Look how tiny. This just looks like a muffin top today. Barely. Looks like a quarter of a muffin top today.
It's incredible. You see what's in the 2006 edition. There's not just bigger sizes. There's more sugar. There's the ingredients have gotten a little bit tastier, let's say.
Why?
Well, I think things come to adjust to kind of our palate as we've grown as a country. All right.
Tell us about these two brownies.
Oh, hey, that's actually the exact same recipe. But what happens is that a much different size of these things.
Yeah, just hold it steady for the camera to see side by side. This is what the brownie size was in 1936.
50 calories more.
In 2006, this
exactly.
is how big they were telling us to make a brownie.
Exactly. And the same size thing is going on here if we look at the chicken a la king, too. Nothing's changed with the recipe here.
Before we get to the chicken a la king, this macaroni and cheese, what's going on here?
Well, the same thing. It's the exact same recipe in this case. What's changed, though, is the size of the portion. It's gotten supersized as we've kind of gone on.
So you're saying in 1936, this is what they called one serving?
Isn't that crazy?
That's like it looks like a child serving to me now. I wouldn't even think
Yeah, no, and you have to remember back then, too, there's a family size of 7 or 8. Now we've got a family size of 3 or 4. So you can see this is stretching even farther now that we're getting
But if I were to
smaller.
eat the 1936 size of mac and cheese, will I be satiated? Will I be full?
You know, back in 1936, we were also a lot smaller back then than we were now. We were shorter, we weren't quite as heavy, so there's maybe a better chance you might have been.
Oh, back then, but not today, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't be full.
No, I don't think so either. All right, what's going on with these?
This is a great example with the chili, and that one of the things that's happened over the years with all sorts of recipes has ingredients have gotten, as food's gotten cheaper, we've been able to substitute more expensive food for less expensive food. So not only is the size bigger here, but there's 3 times as much meat in 2006 as there was 70 years ago.
And the meat looks different because in 1936, this looks like it's just ground beef, right?
Ground stuff.
Ground stuff. What stuff? All right, and in the 2006 version, there's chunks of beef in here.
Yeah, it actually looks like beef, yeah.
So they've actually changed the ingredients, what they call for. Now.
And part of it is the amount that we're spending on food is a much smaller percentage of the family budget than it was 70 years ago. But this just didn't happen in 1936. This has happened continually through the last 70 years, that we've put more and more caloric ingredients in our foods, making them taste better, but also having this insidious influence on our waistlines.
All right, talk to me about the chicken a la king. What's going on here? This one is from 1936.
It's got an egg. It's got some cream, but we've got more cream here. We've got an additional egg here. Granted, this is said to serve 8 people instead of 6, but it also has a lot more caloric ingredients. And
wow,
that's enough calories for all of next week.
So wait, this is supposed to serve how many people?
This is supposed to serve 6.
And this one is supposed to serve
8. Yeah, it got bumped up over the last few years.
So what do you recommend we do, knowing what you found from your study?
Well, the easiest thing to do is realizing these have been made for large people, is just to make what it says, cut it in half, freeze half, and you're going to be dealing with a smaller portion to begin with. You're going to have something for next week to eat, and you're going to be in a lot better shape.
Will I be full?
You'll probably be full, too, especially if you eat off a smaller plate. If you eat off a smaller plate, that food's going to look like a whole lot more than it is if you have a big 14-inch plate.
So much of it is psychological.
Yes.
Brian Wansink, thank you so much.